In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the most realistic gameplay sliders in WWE 2k24. Now that the game has been out for a couple days, and I've had some time to kind of mess around in a lot of the matches and kind of figure out what works and what doesn't, roughly, these sliders are going to look the same as they do in 2k23, as a lot of the gameplay hasn't really changed that much. A lot of the changes come in like the fluidity of the animations in the match. But if this is your first time playing a WWE game, or you just don't want to go back and look at old game settings, we'll go ahead and jump in so you can see what these are. So for difficulty, I usually put it on hard difficulty. I feel like legend difficulty, while yes, it does make it, I feel like legend difficulty just makes the matches carry on a little bit too long, kind of like a Young Bucks match. So I usually leave this on hard. I feel like hard gives you the best overall in-ring product in the matches, so that's what we'll keep that one. Again, this might want to be something you test out. If you like longer matches, I would go with legend. I like my matches to be sort of medium length, so I'll leave that at hard. For weight detection, you got simulation and arcade. So what this basically means is if a superstar has lower strength, they won't be able to lift up a heavier superstar. For example, Rey Mysterio can't vertical suplex the Big Show in the simulation, but if you do arcade, then that kind of nullifies it a little bit, and it'd be easier for a smaller superstar to pick up a bigger one. So we're going to leave that on simulation. A stamina mode, you either have normal or infinite. That's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to leave that on normal. For the pin minigame, this is if you want it timed or rapid press. So rapid press is going to be like a quick time event where you just have to mash the button and spam it. And then timed will be the traditional 2K23 way where you have to like line it up. Pin minigame, first lock after finisher. I have this turned off. Basically what this does is when someone gets hit with a finisher, it makes it so that they can't kick out on the first count. So basically they can only kick out starting at 2. I personally don't like that. If you want finishers in your game to have more impact, definitely turn this on. The trading blows minigame, you can turn this on or off. This is a new feature where the AI will this is a new feature, will give you an in-game sequence, which can be manually selected or automatically done if you're doing AI versus AI. And basically the AI just trades blows back with each other. I have this turned on because when you watch a lot of weekly TV wrestling or PLEs or what have you, any modern wrestling, trading blows is very prevalent in the matches to get the crowd involved, so we're going to keep that in. Allow held input for minigames. So this is whether you want to hold the button or spam it. We'll have that turned off. Automatic rope breaks are turned off. Again, if you get pinned near the ropes, it's on you to grab the ropes. You think if you're in a real match and you get pinned near the ropes, if you don't grab the ropes, then you don't get a rope break, right? So rope breaks are not automatic. Auto reversal for ground attacks, that's turned off. I don't like a lot of the automatic stuff. Entrance run-in, mid-match run-in, and post-match run-in are all off. Blood is turned on. This is off by default, which is mysterious to me because they marketed part of the new game around the new blood features and then turned it off. So you have to manually turn this on. But yeah, if you don't do any other settings in the game and you want to leave it stock, at least go turn the blood on. Subtitles are off. Tutorial tips are off. And of course, edited and created superstars will be allowed. For presentation, this is all going to be personal preference to you and how you want the game to look. I'll run down my settings, but again, this is something you might want to mess with yourself just to see if you like the different styles. Again, this one's all personal preference. So for the ramp camera, this will be the new camera in the game where you can see the entrance stage. It's got like a camera behind the announce tables that shows the ring and the entrance stage. Pretty cool. I have it turned off. I believe with created arenas in the new game, certain arenas can turn them on and off themselves, but this option chooses it for the whole game. I have it turned off. I like it to be unique to the arenas, so I just have it turned off for the whole game. Camera cuts, again, personal preference. I don't like the camera cuts in this game. They're kind of weird. They kind of lag a little bit. A camera shakes. This is garbage. Turn camera shakes off. A camera panning. This is like camera rotation. So if you want the camera to rotate to follow the superstars, you can turn this on. I feel it gets a little bit glitchy when you get in places that the camera is really close to. So like the edges of the barricade near the crowd. You can get some really weird shots in there, so I have that turned off. Spectate control display. I believe this is new to 2K24 as well. This lets you change the camera, among other things, while you're spectating an AI versus AI match. I have this turned off, and that's just because I haven't really had time to go in and figure out all the things you can do with this. You know, is this kind of surface level just to see if people like it so they can advance it in the next game, or is this like an actual good feature right now? Haven't had that much time to look at that yet, So I have that turned off for right now. A superstar HUD. So this will show like your superstar's health, whether you have finishers or signatures. I like this turned off. That gives you a more minimal display while you're in the match, making it look more true to TV, because on TV, superstars don't have HUDs, even though that'd be kind of sick if you could do that. They don't, so we have that turned off. Control help and match rating HUD. I wish these were two different options, but if you turn the match rating HUD on so you can see what kind of stars your match gets while it's happening, you also have to have control help up, which is stupid. I have these turned off. It shows you your star rating at the end of the match anyway. So reversal prompts, I have that turned off. Reversal input feedback, breaker input feedback, all those are turned off. Again, a lot of these auto prompts and stuff I turn off because you need to be aware of where you are in the match, right? You don't get, if you're in a match in real life, you don't get prompts above your head to tell you what to do. A possum pin prompt is off, possum attack off, instant recovery off. Post-match replay, I turn this on. Very rarely does this game replay a move in the match that was actually cool. Usually they're just all random moves in the match, but sometimes it does capture it, and for those 0.1 chances, I leave it on. A run-in and breakout HUD is off. Again, I like the minimal HUD. Not really a lot of things in the HUD other than the two guys fighting in the ring. This will be the one in exclusion, though, will be display referee counts. I like that to be on so I can see like what the ring count is outside the ring and what the pin counts are. And that's mainly because I play with the sound off and I have like Spotify going in the background, so I can't hear the referee, so I have these on. The watermark image, this is if you want a watermark at the bottom of your screen. I don't know why you would. Turn this shit off. And controller vibration, I have this turned off because I don't like controller vibration. This is a personal preference one. All right, now let's jump into some balancing settings. This is where we get really deep into it. So AI standing strike reversal rate, we're going to turn that down to 5. And you might be thinking, why are sliders so low? I think you'll find in this game that turning the sliders down does more than turning them up, if that makes sense at all. So I've had these sliders in 2 different positions. I've had them all the way down like this, which is how I have them now. But before, I turned them all the way up just to see what happened. And yeah, you get more dynamic gameplay seemingly if you turn them down. So AI standing strike reversal rate, we'll turn that down to 5. AI standing grapple reverse rate, 35. AI ground strike reversal rate. Now this one I'm going to be changing right now in the video because in the last match I saw that this needed to be tweaked a little bit. So basically what this means is if a person is sitting on the ground and someone's standing over them and just throwing a simple stomp attack, like spamming one attack, will that character ever get out of that? And if you have it on 0 like I do it now, seemingly they will not, and they will just get stomped into oblivion until the AI decides to stop doing the stomp attack. So I'm actually going to turn this up a lot. I might turn this up to 20 just so the AI doesn't spam a bunch of moves. But this one is still one I'm tinkering around with because it seems like this one's really finicky. AI ground reversal rate will be 30. AI finisher reversal rate. So this will increase or decrease how often AI will reverse a finisher or signature. If you think about today's wrestling, today's in-ring product, a lot of it is built around counters and kicking out of people's finishers. So I like to turn this one up relatively higher than the other sliders. When a finisher is hit, it should be devastating. But at the same time, if you know a finisher is coming, it should be easy to reverse. So I turn this one up to 75. A foreign attack reversal rate, this is down to 10. Again, even at this low rate, they still reverse the weapons at a good rate. So AI grab breaker, this will increase or decrease how often AI will attempt a grab breaker. I turn this up to 80. AI combo breaker rate, I have this turned down because I like to see combos get pulled off a lot more. I feel like if you're in the middle of a combo and you have the momentum, it would be very hard to stop a combo. So I turn this down a lot. AI combo rate is up to 45. Again, I like a lot of combos in my matches. Submissions, I have turned down to 0. Submissions really aren't prevalent in this game at all. Very rarely, for me at least, does the AI even go for submissions at all, which I'm not complaining about. You know, in real life, submissions are really cool, but when you're in a video game, submissions are kind of boring to watch. Like, wow, the superstar's in a headlock for 10 minutes, dude. I'm in a video game. I don't want to see a 10-minute headlock. So I have this turned all the way down. AI dive rate. So kind of opposite of submissions. The AI will go for dives like it's nobody's business if you have this turned up. So I turn this all the way down to 0, and the AI still does dives like quite a bit. Unfortunately, you can't bring the slider down in the negative rate, so I'm just going to leave this one at 0. Same for springboards. I don't know why, but the AI loves dives and springboards in this game, kind of regardless of what character I seem to choose. So I have this also turned down to 0. Now for the AI grapple rate, this is self-explanatory. How often are they going to go for grapples? If you think about today's wrestling, it is based around a lot of striking. However, I feel even with grapple turned up this much above striking by like 15, striking is still more prevalent than grappling in the matches. But I feel like this is a good balance for what I've noticed so far. So I have grapple rate on 80 and strike rate on 65. AI limb targeting rate. This one can be personal preference, honestly. I know some people like more methodical matches where you pick a body part and you kind of work that body part. So if you like that, you can turn this on. I'm not too much of a fan of that. It's a good match type, but like you got to remember in this game, when you turn the slider up, you're not just turning it up by 1, you're turning it up by a lot. So if you turn this up to like 30, you're going to get limb targeting in a lot of your matches. So I have this turned all the way down. The same with the dodge rate. We'll put that at 20. AI trading blows rate. So if you turn trading blows on and you want that in your game in the other menu, this is the rate that the AI will do it at. So how many times will they just do it themselves, or how often? Again, turning sliders down in this game is more effective. So I have this down to 10, and I've noticed that they still go for it, maybe not as often, but when they do it, it's typically a cooler spot because it doesn't happen that often. I feel like the best way to wear out a new feature is for it to happen like 3 times in every match. So I have this turned down to 10. All the run-ins I have turned down to 0. I don't like random-ass run-ins in this game. A referee downtime, I have this turned up to 90 because, I mean, if you think about, not even today's wrestling, any match over history. If the ref even gets looked at wrong, you know, they have to get the medical team to check on this motherfucker. He's down so long. So we're going to turn this all the way up to 90. Basic reversal windows, I turned down by 10. Left it at 40. Seems to be good there. Ground attack reversal windows, I had down at 0. But again, the AI seems to spam ground attack moves. So I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit. I'm going to turn this up to 10. You know, if you're flat on your back on the mat, there's a reason for it. And you should be like more vulnerable to attacks, but you also shouldn't be completely defenseless. Signature and finisher reversals we have up to 65. So this could be a personal preference slider as well. Do you like a lot of reversals on your finishers, or do you want somebody to go for a finisher and hit that motherfucker crazy style? I typically like a lot of reversals, which I have it turned up so high. A weapon reversal, I leave this on 50. You know, if somebody swings a chair at your face, you essentially have a 50% chance to not get hit in the face with the chair. For stamina cost, this is one of the most important sliders if you're looking for super realistic gameplay. This will make it so superstars really can't spam a bunch of moves, and it actually like physically costs them to do like heavy grapples and stuff like that. So sometimes you'll see the AI go for a move and they'll just fall flat on their back because they're so tired, they have no stamina left, which I think is cool. So I turn this up to 100. And then for the recovery rate, why did I say it so weird? For the recovery rate, I have that at 0. Now, 0 doesn't mean that it won't recover at all. You got to remember that these sliders in this game are not accurate. This is a 2K game after all. So I have, while this is on 0, and you think in your head, oh, 0 means that won't happen at all. No, it still happens. It just means it happens a lot less. Rollout frequency, I have this turned down to 0 as well. This still happens quite a lot. Like, a lot in matches. Again, this is a slider that I think could benefit from going in the negative. Rollout duration. This is basically after they roll out, how long are they going to stall outside the ring? I have this turned down. Again, that seems to have minimal effect, even to turn it down to 0. They still stay outside the ring for a good amount. Stun gain, I leave that at 50. Stun duration, I also left at 50. Like, if you get knocked the fuck out, then you just got knocked the fuck out, and that's on you, man. Don't get knocked out. Vitality regen cooldown, we have that up to 80%, and basically that means the cooldown will take longer, so it'll take longer for it to start to regen. And then the same for the next one, we have it at 80, and this is the rate that it regens, and I have that on 80 as well. So the cooldown does take a long time, but once it starts regening, you know, it regens pretty fast. Post kick out damage recovery, for the player and the AI, I have that at 5. So basically what this means is after you kick out of a move, typically you get some health regen. So I want that as minimal as possible, but still give you a little bit, right? AI damage difficulty scaling, I left it at 50. Drag escape difficulty, carry escape difficulty, all at 50. For the targeting tab, this can be personal preference. Personally, I just left this stock. All right. And then for the advanced settings, The only advanced settings that I have changed are for the AI. So this is going to be for AI versus AI matches. I also left the other 3 tabs stock. This is because I primarily do AI versus AI matches. So I like to leave all the pin mini games stock just so nothing weird happens in the match. So going down to our AI settings. So for recent finisher influence, this is going to be how much the first finisher hit. This is going to be the most recent finisher that gets hit on the AI. How much does that damage affect their mini games? So we'll turn that down to 20. For previous finisher influence, we have that up to 30. So basically what that means, if you get hit with a finisher right now, you're fucked. But if you got hit with a finisher before, you're even more fucked. And that's why the next one is you get hit by 3 finishers, you're done. That's the end of the match, essentially. So I have that up to 40. That pretty much guarantees the end of the match, even at 40. Very rarely will they kick out after 3 finishers. Very, very rarely. Which means when it does happen, it's kind of cool. And then our signature settings are going to kind of mimic our finisher settings, but just a little lower. I like finishers to be the most powerful move in the match, so I turn these down just a little bit lower. So for recent signature influence, we've got 10. For previous, we've got 20. And then for 3 times, we've got 30. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed and want to see more content like this, you can go check out the channel.